So today we are going to talk about the stories that we are telling ourselves. But before we do that, let us do some check-in. So let's reflect on the previous day, 24 hours. What was the dominating emotion for you? I'm hoping that you are now paying attention, but also reflecting, looking backwards, help us to review how we did, how we lived. So as we are reviewing, looking at all the things that you've done, things that you did, what was the emotion that was dominant? And how are you feeling right now, okay? In this present moment? And how intense is that emotion from 0 to 10? And where is it situated? If there was a place in your body where this emotion stays or reside, where is it? Because if you're feeling fear, you'll feel it in your chest. And let me say, I feel it in the chest, like uvalo, the lose of the chest. But when I am anxious, it's in my chest. When I am worried, it's in my shoulder and my throat. And when I'm excited, it is also in my chest, but it's more lighter. It also it's even giving, it even goes to my back. When I'm discouraged, my it's in my knees. I feel weak on my knees. So it's important to know where it's located, because when you know where the emotion is located, and actually reactivate it, you can activate it again and go to that place and think about it. Then it gets activated, because when you check, when you know where it is, you know where to go. When you know where your pills are for the headache, you know you go there without even thinking. So that is what I would like us to achieve, to go to that place. There are things that I'm going to teach you in our 3 months coaching, where I will teach you how to put a cupboard of sweets somewhere, like for instance, of laughter, joy. If I say sweets, laughter, joy, excitement, you can actually put that in your wrist, and then when you feel that you are depressed, you can actually press that place and then change your state. Just quickly change your state. So these are the things that we need to know, so that we can survive with, so that we can live well in this earth. Okay? Because there are so many invisible forces that we are dealing with. But if you know how to change your state, if you know how to change your emotions, then you'll find that these invisible forces, they don't have that much impact, because they are bouncing back. Actually, when you change your state, when you fill your heart with joy, love, gratitude, you create a shield of protection around yourself that becomes hard to penetrate. That is why that shield needs to be strengthened all the time. That's why we cannot afford to live our life so sloppily in such a way and give our power away, because that shield of protection gets weakened, and then that is why the enemy is able to attack us. If that shield of protection was always strong, then izinto abayithumelayo nama-force, invisible forces, because of the the hearts and the thoughts and the emotions that other people carry with them, they will bounce back. Uthole ukuthi umuntu unenzondo towards you, but because you have this love, this joy, and this gratitude, when they send this frequency of anger, because when you have a frequency of love bounces it back. That is why the Bible says love conquers all things. Love is a powerful force because it is. So now that we know where our good emotions are, like for instance, as you were feeling a bad emotion, also that awareness would say, okay, if I'm discouraged, then I become weak in my knees. Then I need to shift my attention and move away from there and go to the more powerful place. Okay. And change my state, change how I carry my body. Then that will make a difference. So today we said we are going to be talking about the story that we tell ourselves. What story are you telling yourself? There is an old story and also there's a new story. Okay, what you are telling yourself right now. Yesterday we spoke about limiting beliefs. And I gave you homework and that's it. Go to all the 13 categories for those who are attending a vision board. And then begin now to highlight what are the limiting beliefs in each and every category. Now today I am saying I want you to pay attention to what story are you telling yourself when it comes to these categories. One of them will be parenting, family and parenting. And you say, I'm not a good parent because I failed. So if you're telling that story, do you think by telling it, you will be eventually by faith and miraculously become a good parent? Do you think it will be like that? And now let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich because of what the Lord has done for me. But Tina, we are just saying that I'm weak, I'm poor, I'm miserable, I'm this and that. Whereas we've been given an antidote that you don't tell things as they are if they are negative. You tell them as you want them to be. Right? There was a time when I asked you what makes you happy. I asked you what doesn't make you happy. And then if now you are clear about what is it that makes you happy, what is it that you want, then it means now you need to pay attention to that thing until it manifests. If because we realize, manje, ukuthi everything that we want, actually, it doesn't need to be tangible. We don't need to hold it in our hand. We already have it, Tin. We already have it. We are already having it. Mangit, we don't need to touch it with the physical hands because you are already having it. It's in that reservoir that we always go to when we do meditation. Okay. So what story are you telling yourself? Sometimes people will tell the story that I'm not good enough. I'm shy. I don't know how to sing. It will never work. I'm a failure. It's difficult. This one cannot be done. And then you find which ushonjalo cannot be done, and then somebody else comes and do it excellently and proves you wrong. So yini benza when ukuthi is the story that you're telling yourself, because the story, beliefs are stories that we tell ourselves over and over again until they become the true reality, and then we believe them. And the biggest challenge is that when you have told yourself something over and over again, there is that need in a human being yokufuna ukuyiprova leyo nto ukuthi iyiqiniso, even without you knowing, because it's a belief. And remember what we said yesterday, we said beliefs, they create, and beliefs, they destroy. So when usuyishilo lesi story, it becomes a reality. Because, mina I can't sing. Ukuthi ukucula kuyafundelwa, nokudansa kuyafundelwa. It's just a matter of which you can put a focus and learn the skill if you want to, but there's no such thing which it can't be done. because kala kwakuthiwa ngeke kwazi ukundizwa emoyeni, namhlanje kuyandizwa. Abanye babengazi ukuthi ungakhuluma nomuntu ophesheya ula sekuyenzeka. Qala kwakunamafoni, ufonela umuntu. They never thought ukuthi you can actually have a phone ungabona khona umuntu umbone in real time, but it's done now. Qala kwangazi ukuthi ungaya komunye umhlaba uye kwimuni. Namhlanje is possible. So whatever is not possible to you is because you are telling yourself. So, but there's work that needs to be done so that we change. So the work that we need to do is to create a new story. A new story. Like, let me tell you a story of Omunyu Baba, because I feel like saying this. This Baba is very angry. He's a very angry man. He grinds. It's like, you need to work and make things happen. You need to prove yourself. And in the process, he's very angry with his wife and children. And then he says in one point, which, you know what, my old story is that I make things happen. I push. I'm a doer. I'm a resilient. But at the same time, I'm very angry. And the anger is huge in my life. In such a point that even my child wrote a picture of me like an animal shouting at her mother. Uthi mayisibuka lesi sithombe ukuthi even ingane yakhe isimbona isilwane. Uthi he was hurt enhlizweni yakhe and he wanted to change the story. So what mean I'm angry, I'm a doer, I'm a pusher. And he says my new story now is that I'm a lover. I have fun. I'm this person who connects with people. And I love my family. I'm a good man. I'm a good father to my children. And he says, that is my new story. So I want us now to change our stories. All my categories out 13 lawa is now for those who are vision board. Because that story, most of them, they have become beliefs and they are actually driving you. And now you need to create something else that will drive you to the direction that you want to go to. Okay. Basically, that is what I wanted to share today. Just go and do the work then, because it's not enough to listen to me and then not do the homework. I would like you to go and do the homework and do the work and work on transforming yourself. Phelile indaba yokulokhu ushintsha abantu. Ngize ngisho ngithi even mina, though I do it because it's umsebenzi, yabona, sisakwi-era la bantu befuna khona. Mina nginalokhu ukuthi preaching to people is not as much effective than ukuba nama conversation nabo. But worst of all is to preach to people, to tell them to be something, whereas when as a human being you are not even doing an ounce of work to transform your life. As athi uJesu ukuthi nina baFarisi ninikeza abantu ijoka nani ningakwazi ukulikherisha. Okay, so this one is the era of working on ourselves, changing ourselves so that we inspire people through that. When people look at us, they know what we've been, and then they know what we are now, and then they get inspired. Okay, and also remember, there are people who are your friends, but who are also your enemies, who will not want you to prosper. Abanye babo baseduzane kwakho because they feel threatened by when uphumelele. So when I go and work on yourself, transform yourself and prove it to them ukuthi lento le iyenzeka. Abanye discourage abanye abantu abanabo impilo. I'm not sure why I'm saying this. They are being discouraged by abantu abahlala nabo abaseduzane kwabo. Mina into engayisho, stop sharing with them manje ukuthi uzokwenzani. Just do it. Mase sivuthiwe yagcwala ibhodwe selivuthiwe, and then you can start telling them ukuthi nanti ibhodwe idlani manithanda ukudla, ningadli futhi maningathandi. Okay, so there are people that are your friends, but they are also your enemies that do not want you to prosper in life. So the best thing that you can do is to prove it to yourself, make it happen. Uyiprovele wena. Mase bebona ukuthi kuyenzeka, then ke bazobe sebeyakulandela. Abanye bazokulandela late in life mase bebona ukuthi wawuqinisile. But manje you are trying so much ukuthi uba convince ukuthi wozani sihambeni, abanye ngeke baze bahambe nawe ngoba they have their own fears, abanye they have their own egos, abanye banama-insecurities abo ukuthi hayi wena imina ekufanele ngenze not wena, yabona. So now that's the story that we tell ourselves. Change it, make it powerful, and then go forward. So I wanted to share that. Now let us go and do our meditation for the day and see where it's going to take us. But our meditation will be based on the stories that we are telling ourselves. We are going to be telling ourselves a new story. So let's go. So let's begin to breathe in and breathe out and find our center. Go to the wells of life that are inside us. As we breathe in and out, we begin to smile from within and we connect to our heart and check how is your heart. What is the condition of your heart? You can even ask your heart, how are you? It's interesting thing to listen to the heart, to the parts when speaking with. Do you know that you can speak to all the body parts in your body and ask them how they are, and they will actually answer you? Oh, Mr. Great knows this. Mom Great. And begin now to feel your heart. Now you know how it is. Fill it with love. So as I mentioned, each emotion, you're just gonna pressurize it in your heart to make it so like fuck. Yabo njengomuntu osuke ethi eyazi ukuthini lethi uthi ngicindezele uze ngifake more. So we are going to do that. Love, joy, compassion, and gratitude. Just fill it in. And then we'll do the second cycle. Fill your heart with gratitude, with love, with compassion, with joy. And then the last cycle, fill your heart with joy, love, compassion, and gratitude. And then take these emotions, this well of life that is in your heart right now, and then send it, disperse it to your upper level of your life and your down level of your life. So take this life, send it up to your head, and then send it down to your feet. And then when it goes to your feet, it goes down, and you begin to nature the world that you're standing in. And then you send it up as a praise and appreciation to God. You say, I'm sending this to God. And then open up your both arms and then send it out there. And you say, I'm sending it out to people. Whoever this will find, whom they will sorry guys, whoever whom this will find will be impacted. Anybody that I will come across, everybody that I will shake hands with will be impacted by the presence that I carry, and then send it out. So for me, when I was looking at this love, joy, gratitude, and compassion, sending it down, it was like oil. It is oil going to the soil. Water, oil, or like honey, it's going to the soil. But when I'm sending up to God, it is appreciation. It is an aroma like impepo that's going to God. And when I'm sending it out to people, it is just the presence. The presence. It is the presence that I'm carrying with me that impacts everyone that comes into my world. Because as we go and meet people, worlds are coming together and colliding and interacting. That is why somebody else's presence will come and affect you in a good way or bad way, because people have their own worlds. But today, with story that we are telling ourselves, is that our world is powerful. My world does not get affected, but my world is powerful on its own, that anyone who comes into my presence gets affected in a good way by my presence. So I'm just going to give you time as you are just oozing this Sando Joy mixture, as you are oozing it, sending it out to the floor, to the ground, to God, and to people. And as you do this, the Bible says, give and it shall be given back to you. So as you are doing this, something amazing is happening. Your capacity, the capacity of your heart is expanding and more is coming in. And this is amazing. This is grateful. This is good. This is glorious. So the capacity is expanding. Even the amount of Tando Joy mixture is it's because the mixture of Tando Joy, the Tando Joy mixture, the bigness, no matter the amount of it, is determined by the container. So the container of your heart is expanding as you give love where you're supposed to give it. And it's becoming so huge that even the presence and the radius of the presence of your heart is increasing. So imagine you're standing Laukon, but the presence of your heart goes to your neighbors. It goes to, let me use Mr. Great. Mr. Great, it goes from your house. I'm not sure if you work on Omugip, but let us go to your house right now, because I see you usekaya lako. And then it goes now, Mom Great Mautuban Lo Olalelela. Then it goes from your house to your neighbors. Okay, it's like an echo, a presence that is impacting them. It goes to even up beyond Clarota. Is your figure it goes, it even reaches Itepen. So imagine how big is that radius. It even goes and covers the whole of KwaZulu-Natal. So I'm not sure how far can you go, but even the whole of KwaZulu-Natal is being impacted in a very good way. And the story that we are telling ourselves, that good things, they come to us and they find us. Wherever we go, we are loved. People smile at us. They find that there's something strange about us. They become curious. There's something about us that they do not understand that makes them question in a good way. They become so attracted in us in such a way that they feel like giving good things, doing good things, making beautiful, taking beautiful action. So that is the story that we are telling ourselves, that we are so loved. We are powerful. Wherever we go, we are impactful. We don't need to open our mouths to be impactful. Our presence actually does the work. So you can continue again. Going to be quiet, just 2 minutes, and then bask in that presence, in that story that you are telling yourself, that I love my enemies. Actually, I don't have any enemy. People are doing their own thing. People are responsible for their lives. Whatever they do is their choice. But I love them because I'm a lover. I love so and so. I love so and so. Continue telling that story just for 1 minute now. Then let's come to a close. Continue telling the story even during the day. And then take a deep breath. Now you come back, don't come to a place where you are not like projecting this Tando Joy mixture anymore, but it's just doing it, it's just project itself. But I want you to come back now because you are doing it intentionally. And that is sometimes that is exhausting, because so I don't want you to go out day while you are doing work, focusing 10, I'm sending out the love, I'm sending out the joy. I want you to come to an awareness where you know that it's doing that by itself without even you trying anything. It's like perfume. Perfume as long as you spray it, then everywhere you go, it goes with you. And people just pay attention to that smell. They surely, if you pay way of you. So that's the very same thing. This Tando Joy, we go out in the world now and occupy, is going to make people smile, laugh, but we're not going to tell them. And we are going to enjoy as we look at them reacting to the presence that we carry. And then we will know, see, I've done this, I did this. Abazalwane sisenze izinto masithi hayi uNkulunkulu has done everything, is complete for everyone in the earth. But those who get successful is because they align themselves with God. They take action. Then maseke siyayirobha thina to acknowledge ukuthi we really did this. I'm the one who made these choices. La ngikhona is because imina ofocusile, imina owenze lokho. So I am giving myself that credit. Because if we don't, we will go in a vacuum and hate people at the end because we do something we are not supposed to do. Even our body tells us while we're doing it, hi. Then it's all supposed to be done. So today we are just appreciating ourselves, filling ourselves with that appreciation and say, well done, girl. Well done, man. I'm so proud of you. You are an amazing human being. So it's because you really are. So I'm going to just count from 3 to 1, and then we'll come back and then ready to face our day. 3, 2, 1, done.
Thank you, Mom. Ready to face the day.
Amen. Mm?
I'm ready to face the day. Thank you.
Amen. Me too. Siyabonga, guys.